one of the things with you being on the show, I feel like you're the perfect person to talk to about this, and that's vibes. I need to talk Jameson Williams. I was having this conversation with Matt Harmon at the Fantasy Football Expo, which was a great time. Anyone who's able to get there next year in Canton, it's really awesome to meet people and stuff. But I was talking to Matt Harmon, and we were walking somewhere, and I was saying that there are some players that just have horrible vibes associated with them, attached to them, right? And Jameson Williams, it just seems like one thing after another. And there's even some things that have been reported about Jameson Williams' behavior off the field that's not really mainstream reported. It's not really like coming from a Schefter account. A lot of the stuff with Williams is the suspension or the injury stuff, but there's been other like work ethic related things that have been reported. I'm not saying they're real or not, because I'm not, his mother. I'm not sitting there talking to him every day, but
that should be your next guest.
Yeah, next week I got Jameson Williams' mother. Yeah. But no, like I just think that there's some players where the vibes just look horrible. And I think, one of the things that was really that I got a lot of pushback for is that I have this year 2 model, right? I have the prospect model, and then the year 2 model looks at how well these guys are going to do in year 2 and year 3 based on their prospect score and how they did as prospects, and then based on how they did as rookies, right? So the inputs as rookies is more important than the inputs as they were in college, because we have an NFL sample at that point. Jameson Williams didn't have that much of a sample, obviously, last year because he barely played. And so his year 2 score looked like crap. It didn't look very good. But if you look historically at wide receivers who didn't do anything their rookie season, whether it be due to injury or not, the best example might be like a Mike Williams. It might be like a DJ Chark, these guys who aren't really these like staples, wide receiver 1 or 2 that you feel great about, whether from a dynasty perspective or a redraft perspective. And so when you add that to vibes, right? Yeah. I feel bad about Jameson Williams. I haven't drafted him. I just feel bad about him. And is there any merit to that? I need to ask.
Yeah, no, yes, of course. I'll make the speech I've made many times on my show, which is intuition's not supernatural. It's not mystical. It's just all the knowledge, all the experience you have boiling itself down to a yum or yuck feeling, a gut feeling, if you will.
Yeah.
Warm and fuzzy vibes or not. And I think you're right that you can then start to investigate and look for data that shows us we're on the right track with Jameson Williams. And I think from the vibes point of view, from the narrative point of view, because I am the mayor of Narrative Street, and look, we're thinking about this in terms of a story. The chapters are being written, and stories change, stories twist and turn. But we can say, like you're doing with your models, JJ, well, the last 10 stories that started out like this, what was the next chapter? Where did the story end up? And in the case of Jameson Williams, probably the most troubling thing that I've seen, JJ, is the team saying we want him to get as many reps as possible. I mean, he's a second-year wide receiver. Contrast that with, Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, when it comes to rookie wide receivers this year, and now I'm talking about more short-term, not long-term, but if you read what is being written about Jordan Addison, although KJ Osborne could still be the number 2 to start the season.
Yeah, we've been down this path.
He's really cheap. He's really cheap. I'm just saying, for the first few weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you.
If you read about what's being said about Zay Flowers, and you contrast that with what's being written about Quentin Johnston, there's a very different tenor and tone. Yeah, very, very different. Now, I mean, DJ Chark is a good example of a guy who looked like a bust. If you watched him in his rookie year, that's what a bust looks like in his rookie year. And then he came back in year 2 a different guy. So we always have to be open to that. But yeah, the vibes are bad around Jameson Williams because the team is telling us he's not where we want him to be. And he keeps creating obstacles for himself in injuries, in suspensions. And I think that, this is a point where we might say, well, what's the arbitrage play here? And you're looking at, hey, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe even Marvin Jones or Josh Reynolds, or how about Amon-Ra St. Brown? How about Amon-Ra St. Brown catching over 100 balls and getting more balls downfield and turning some of those targets that he gets inside the 5 into touchdowns?
Not falling at the 1 yard line this season like 8 times. Yeah, exactly.
We know it's going to be efficient and productive, right? If Jameson Williams is not ready to be part of that, then maybe we're underestimating the other parts of that offense.